and welcome to DME Podcast by About the Voice. My name is Omawumi and I am so excited to have you here again today. But then before I get into the discussion for today, I would like to give a shout out to these amazing individuals that have helped to consistently share the links to this podcast across so that you can get to listen. Thank you very much, Farida Omotolani Ini, Olabisi, Praise, Bisola Ayomide, Tomisin, Adeshola, Chioma, Rodiat, Laura, Dara, Ifeoluwa, Diane, Olamide, Victoria. Thank you so much. In case I did not mention your name, I am sorry. Thank you so much. Now, moving into the discussion or the talk for today, I know that a lot of times we wonder, or you have wondered, how come this person knows so much? How come this guy knows so much? How come this lady seems to be so exceptional? How come she happens to be able to answer so many of my questions? How come he is able to answer so many of my questions? How come he is able to speak so intelligently and all of that? And also, I'm sure that a lot of times we've heard that people say, both girls and guys, they say that one of the things that turned me off is the fact that she does not know how to hold a conversation. Or you just see how there are certain people that are just so vast on so many things, and you wonder, do these people sit and pick up materials and read just to gain this knowledge and all of that? How do they get to do it? And one thing that I would like to say today is curiosity. Curiosity is such a powerful tool. It is very, very powerful. Are you curious? Are you a curious person? If you're someone that is seeking to work on yourself, personal development and all of that, you want to be exceptional, you want to be different, there is something you must imbibe. You must get that mind of desire and curiosity. A lot of times we scroll through, I'm sure you scroll through your Instagram and then you watch all the skits and all those things that make you laugh and all those things that seem or are fun to you and all of that. But then you can see that in between there are certain times that certain things pop up. For instance, let's say now, if you are someone that normally likes to just watch all these funny reels and all these meme videos and all of that, and then suddenly you see something, maybe CNN, maybe Instagram or TikTok just brings a news from CNN. Most times these things appear boring to us, so we skip. But then these things have vital information that can help to build your vocabulary, that can help to grow your thinking capacity as a young person. And sometimes these videos are 30 seconds. You should pause. If you want to work on yourself as a person, you want to be vast, you want to be that person that they admire, someone that is, you know so much. Don't be someone that is always, I'm not saying you should not watch your meme videos and all of that, no. But then be curious. Okay, what are they saying in this video that CNN, this thing that has appeared from CNN? Stop and watch it. You don't even need to cram it. These people that do these exceptional things, it's not as if they sit down to cram these things. But then when you see something different, pause. Okay, what could they be saying here? Intentionally tell yourself that I want to learn this. I want to hear what this has to say. It may be boring. It may not be as interesting as what I watch normally, but then I am working on myself. Do not forget that we talked about intentionality. Okay, I want to listen to what they have to say here. And then in fact, you might not even be paying too much attention, but then because you stopped to watch that video, one or two things have been registered in your mind. Now you know that, okay, so and so is going on in Israel. Okay, now you know that so and so is going on in USA. Okay, now you understand what Donald Trump is doing. Okay, now you know what the president of Nigeria is doing. You understand? But if you're someone that you are just so dismissive, you are not curious, you're not hungry for information, your mind would always be tilted in one direction. And you can see that intelligent people might not even like to have conversations with you because all that is in your mind is meme and skits and all of that. And these people you are watching are making their own money. And so for me, when I started learning, for instance, when I started working on how I pronounce my words and all of that, one thing that I used to do is, even in church, I'm not saying this to like in a bad sense, even in church, if the preacher is preaching and I hear a word that is not familiar to me, most times I check I check the meaning of that word and I learn the pronunciation. Or maybe I am maybe reading a book, or I'm just walking on the street and I see something, an inscription, maybe on a signpost and anything or stuff like that. I see that, okay, this is a word that is unfamiliar to me. I go to my dictionary and I get to check what this word is, the meaning of this word, and also learn the pronunciation. Even when I am talking, and I sometimes I listen to my pronunciation and I'm like, okay, did I pronounce this word right? And then I go on to check how this word is correctly pronounced. I hope you understand. So these are things that you can do to build your vocabulary as a person. Be curious about information. Okay, maybe you've seen people do amazing things. How do they edit videos? This person's video just has some extra touch. You have ChatGPT. Ask questions. You don't have to bother about the structure of your English. You don't have to bother about how ruffled your thoughts may be. Just be curious. Just write what is coming to your mind, whichever way you can arrange the English. Thankfully, ChatGPT knows how to correct whatever we write and help us edit them properly. So just write it down and write it into ChatGPT and ask it, or whatever AI tool that you use. We have a lot. We have Copilot, we have Gemini, we have so many. So whatever AI tool you use, write it down and then find out, okay, maybe a friend of yours posted something on her status talking about artificial intelligence, machine learning, talking about communication skills, analytics, all of those things. You should be curious. What is this about? That 2 minutes that you used to read to check up something is what builds you. Who knows? You might be asked the question somewhere. And then you just get to remember these things. And when you talk, it's like, how come she knows this? How come he knows this? This is how it is being done. You have to get intentional about being curious, about getting information, about learning stuff and all of that. Maybe it's even football. You don't have to be a football lover. But then when a conversation about football is being made, you should have something. Of course, you don't need to know everything, but then let it be that you try your best to know as much as possible. Something about football is trending. Don't be dismissive. Just go on ChatGPT or go online, go to the Instagram page of such person, check, okay, what exactly is going on. Spend that 2 minutes, 5 minutes to read something. This is how you build your vocabulary. For me recently, for like some weeks or for some months now, I've been curious about how certain kind of video edits have been made, because when I watch a lot of motivational speaking and a lot of technology talks and a lot of those things, let me not go deep into it and all of that, and say I see the quality of the videos of these creators and I wonder, how are they able to achieve this? And I did not stop there. These are things that it might be 3 a.m. in the middle of the night, 2 a.m., that 5 minutes, that 4 minutes is what helps to build you. And then I spent time to learn about these things, and I was like, okay, so this is how they even do these things. They are not hard, or it is not hard. It's not a difficult thing. And that was how I was able to update my knowledge or upgrade my knowledge about how to do editing better. I hope you understand. So as a young person, maybe you are in your teens, you are in your early 20s and all of that, and you want to be someone of quality, you have to be intentional about learning every time. Learn something everywhere. There is so much to learn. Maybe you're even having a conversation with a friend and she said 1 or 2 things. Be curious. Okay, she mentioned something while we were talking. I would go on YouTube to check it out. Okay, I would go on Instagram to check it out. Okay, I would check ChatGPT. You understand? So these are the things that you have to do to build your knowledge, your thinking capacity as a person. And then when you are called, or when certain conversations have been held with you, you are able to say things, or you are just able to just know so much and do so much. I hope you understand. So do not just go out there and just be admiring certain people and you're wondering, how are they able to do it? They are curious. Be a curious person. And then do not forget that for you to even be curious, you have to be intentional. That moment where you pause and say, no, this news has come my way. I'm going to stop and I'm going to watch what is being said. I'm going to learn what is being said. And then also go and follow people who don't be someone that is, you're only watching meme. I'm not saying you should not have fun as a person, but personal development, just like I keep saying, you have to be intentional. Go on ChatGPT. These are the things I do not know about. Please suggest Instagram profiles, Facebook profiles or pages. websites that I can follow, people that I can follow that make conversations around this, and then you get a lot of suggestions. You follow them, and then these posts come up, they pop up. It might even be through emails and all of that. Sometimes you may wonder, okay, this person writes so well. How can I be a writer? How can I write this well? Sometimes it might even be in the use of punctuation. Some of you, when you are chatting, your punctuations are whack. Some of you still use short forms when you are writing. How would people see you as someone of quality when you don't even pay attention to your presentation as a person? You understand? So if you don't understand how punctuations are used, go on, use ChatGPT, find out, or go on anywhere, go on YouTube and search, how do I use punctuations better? How to use a comma? Those tiny things are the things that add up to make you someone of quality, someone that looks, sounds, and seems exceptional. And then when it comes to learning, have a note. It might be on your phone, it might be a paper that you have, or a book or jotter or something. Always write things down. Whatever new thing you've learned, whatever thing you are curious about, write them down. I hope you understand. So these are things that really do help to build you up as a person. Maybe you're a student and you are studying a particular course and you are curious, what can I even do? You are thinking about your life. What can I even do with this course? These are my interests. These are my areas of strength. This is where I am lacking. These are my weaknesses. Go on your whatever AI tools that you use, or whatever, maybe on YouTube, and search, okay, what can I do with this skill? What skills do I need to learn to get to this point? What do I need to be paying attention to? These information you get, and then you begin to build on them. So being a person of quality, developing yourself, working on your personal development, is not necessarily sitting down and reading all the pages in a newspaper or magazines. It's in just little things that you stop to pause to read, you pause to listen to. Is deliberately going after information and just saying that, no, I have to be more than this. I have to know more than this. And so just know that it might be hard to find these things interesting, but then you don't have to start big. Just little by little. And please, anytime a thought comes to your mind, ask questions. Me, I am very grateful for ChatGPT. I ask a lot of questions. There is nothing too big. There is nothing too big to ask. There is nothing too small to ask. Ask and you will receive. Exactly. Even Bible says ask and you receive. It's better that you ask and you don't get something than you don't even ask. What if you asked? You would have gotten something, or you would get something. And so what if there was a possibility of you getting something because you asked? What if you don't ask at all? So please develop a very, very key tool in personal development is curiosity. Be a curious person. Tell yourself that I would be a person of timber and caliber. Let me use that. Yes, you will be a person of timber and caliber, someone who can speak intelligently, someone who knows how things work. And that, of course, starts by being intentional, being curious. I hope that you've learned one or two things from today's podcast. This is where I will be rounding off. If you have questions that you would like to ask, be sure to send me a message on WhatsApp. Please, if you listened to the end, please help to share the link to this podcast with someone who might find this important or useful. In fact, just share it to your story and all of that. You can even send me a message. I can have your number saved and we can be conversing. Please, if you listen to this podcast to this point, make sure that you help to share the link to this podcast. Thank you very much for staying with me. My name is Omowumi, and again, this podcast is brought to you by About the Voice, and we say that you are number one. Have a lovely day.